Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Podjitzu. This is a Ninjago podcast, and each episode of this new kind of Podjitzu thing, I'm going to be bringing on a different YouTuber. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm SPI, and on this episode, I am joined by...
AlBrickStudios. What's up, Podjitzu fans? I'm AlBrickStudios. I'm a YouTuber.
For those of you who are new to Podjitzu, this is kind of just a podcast where I bring on a different YouTuber each episode. Beforehand, there's another kind of Ninjago podcast also called Podjitzu, and this is kind of a continuation of it. And on that one, I was joined by a co-host, but at this Podjitzu, every episode is going to be a different YouTuber. And to start off with this episode, like we're going to be doing in all of these episodes, I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions, AlBrickStudios. Are you ready? Should I call you
ready,
Al?
I'm ready. And by the way, I have a question for you.
Ooh, what's your question?
Like, Podjitzu it's an epic name. Like, how did you make that up?
It was actually...
Podjitzu is actually really cool. I like that name.
It was pretty simple. My co-host Luke and I were just thinking of names, and we were like,
yeah,
what's a good name? Podcast? Cast? And it just came to us, and we were like, boom, Podjitzu?
No, that's seriously like one of the best names ever. Like,
really?
Probably the best podcast name ever.
Thank you. Have you heard of the TTV channel? What's their podcast?
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Isn't it like NinjaCast Masters of Podjitzu?
Actually, my podcast was called NinjaCast. I don't know what theirs is called.
Well, they started it after Podjitzu.
Really?
And they didn't know that we existed, but it's spelled with an S. The one that we're doing right now, Podjitzu, is with a Z. So, I mean, I don't want to say it, they copied us, but no, I'm just kidding. Are you ready for a question now?
I'm ready.
How did you get into YouTube?
How I started my channel?
Yeah, or just YouTube in general.
I don't really know. I just... Back in the old days, when I was like 5 or 6, I was just introduced to YouTube by my uncles and aunts and cousins, and like I just liked it, I guess. The first channel I ever watched was I was a kid back then, so EvanTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching them. Yeah. They were one of my favorite YouTubers, and I just watched them, and from their channel I just evolved and subscribed to other channels, and then I got into Lego Ninjago and all that good stuff. What
were your first videos? Like, if you said that you started a channel before, didn't you have like another channel or channels like before your current channel?
So basically in 2017 I had a channel not relating to Lego Ninjago. I wasn't in the community then.
Yeah.
But like I just made it was called what was it called? AlNStudios or Allen Productions. And basically there I just made skits. I loved this other YouTuber, and I wouldn't say I copied them, but like I tried to make similar type videos because they were funny, and I love to make videos like that.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, so I just made like skits, and at that time I had like at least 200 subscribers, but I don't know, when I keep watching those videos over and over again, they were just cringy. I just deleted that shit. It was so bad. Like, even the editing was horrible.
Oh, yeah, I can feel that way sometimes too. We're just at the time it's like, oh, this video is so funny. Like,
yes,
and
exactly.
Then 2 years later,
at that time I was like, oh, this video is amazing. But then, like, literally yesterday I was watching one of my videos. Like, I saved it to my camera roll, and like when I was watching it over, and it was so cringy. It was not good.
Yeah.
I just can't.
What made you decide to stop that and to start Ninjago and stuff?
So basically, 2018, I believe it was around April, I joined the community, and then I've seen other YouTubers like Tanner Fishies, David. Back then, David was making like a lot of theory videos, so I was just watching those videos over and over again, and I pretty much had theories of my own.
Yeah.
So I started making some theories up, and like I started a YouTube channel. I never knew I would go this far into my YouTube career, I guess. But yeah, it just expanded, and right now it's kind of amazing because like
you just hit 5K.
Yeah, 5K. Yeah,
Congrats.
That's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
the only reason why I hit 5K was because I streamed episodes for other people.
Yeah, it's probably
but
true.
I just like helping people. You know, some people say that like I do it for the views and money, but it's not true. You know, because like so no one knows this, but I'm just gonna say it. So my friend from Malaysia, you know how the episodes are released from Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my friend from Malaysia, he asked me one time, can you stream the episodes on your YouTube channel because, well, he can't watch it because he doesn't have a TV in his home. So I was like, okay, I'll just stream it. And then once I streamed it, everyone became like, even one time when I, like, even now when I stream every Friday night on YouTube, like the new episodes, like, there's like 1,000 viewers watching it live. And, like, I never expect that to happen, you know? I expect like 100 viewers probably, but like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I love helping my fans, you know, because they give me, like, awesome feedback. You know, they're like, wow, you're the best, thank you. Like, that just, you know, like, you've gotten good comments before, right?
Yeah.
Like,
those comments are awesome. Another question relating to your current channel. Didn't you change your name, like, a couple months ago? Like, from NinjaHDStudios?
Not a couple of months ago, probably, like, a few weeks ago, actually.
A few weeks ago?
Yeah, you wanna know why?
Yeah, that's my question. Like, why did you change your name?
Okay, so NinjaHDStudios was never a final name, you know, for me. Like, it was just I was still trying to find a good name for myself.
Yeah.
Because like.
Because the episodes aren't in HD.
What?
I'm just kidding. I said because the episodes aren't in HD.
Yeah. So many people thought I put Ninja HD because my videos were HD quality. It wasn't even HD quality. So and not only that, I got my name NinjaHDStudios from EvanTube HD actually.
Oh yeah.
So that's basically how I got it. But the reason why I changed it was that name is not really. I don't know. I just wasn't happy with it really. Like, you know, every YouTuber that I know, or not all of them, but some of them incorporate their names in their, you know, like their actual like name for their channel, like NinjaHDStudios.
Oh yeah.
DGarmadon
SPI.
SPI is probably your name, right?
That's my initials, yeah.
Mostly YouTubers incorporate their names into their, you know, name. So
yeah.
I was like, why not just put it, like, my name is Alan, right? So I just put AlBrickStudios, you know? Some people were disappointed because they were like, why do you keep changing your name? And I'm just like, you know, it's my name. I just want to change it, you know?
Yeah. So is this kind of the final one that you've kind of, like, come to a point where you're like, this is the one that I'm satisfied with, or?
Hey, man, who knows, you know? Anything, like, maybe today I'm thinking, I shouldn't change my name, but tomorrow maybe I'm going to be like, I want to change my name, you know?
Just don't change it to SPI.
I probably will. SPI, Brick Studios. No, but like, at the moment, I love this name so much, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
It fits me, you know? How did you get your name, SPI? Just by your initials?
Yeah, like, it's my initials, so the S is Steven, and the P is Paul, and the I is my last name.
Stephen Paul. Wow, that's a cool name.
Thank you.
How did you get your name, huh?
How did I get my name?
I'm joking.
So, this one time, like, 19 years ago, I was in a hospital, and my parents are just like, boom! This guy will be Stephen Paul. WSPI. What are some of your favorite videos that you've made on your channel?
Probably theory videos, you know? Like,
yeah.
There's so many theory videos you can make. Like, I don't have a specific favorite video, but, like, probably, like, the genre is theory videos because, you know, you can experiment and, like okay, so Fuji dub, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was, like, everyone was saying, that's Zane, and I was like, that's Fuji dub because you can clearly see the head, you know, you know what I mean? Like, so the image that was in one of the episodes was, like, a round, like, head.
Yeah.
Fuji does have the same exact thing, but now, obviously, we know who it is, right?
The best villain. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I feel like it's Akita's brother, but...
I don't know. I feel like he's just like a random guy. Like, they just threw him in there for...
Random guy?
For comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like, you know, theory videos are the best to make. and
Yeah.
I just love making those type of videos. Like, there's like endless possibilities, of what you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to make those type of videos as well, so.
Yeah. That's the beauty of Ninjago. It's like they've had so many seasons and they've just like expanded and expanded on their ideas. That they've built like a world that's so big that they have just so many possibilities of what can happen. So theories are like perfect for this show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Speaking of villains, even though Fujidove isn't really the most villainous villain, who's your favorite villain in Ninjago?
Oh, 100% Overlord.
The 100%. Overlord? So are you a part of the hashtag Bring Back the Overlord?
Yes.
Group?
I mean, I think he's still out there only because I forgot. I forgot where I saw it, but like I read somewhere that the Overlord spirit is still around. It can never be destroyed. So
yeah, that was I think it was in Rebooted where it was mentioned.
Yeah.
Where it was like he was still alive because he was in the Digiverse.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of sad how he died because of Zane, but
yeah. So like his spirit's still there.
Overlord is an amazing villain. I love it. Who's your favorite villain?
So I mean, it's changed for me a bit, like with the seasons.
Yeah.
I'd say overall, it's probably Garmadon.
Really?
Yeah, just season 2 Garmadon. I'd say like Mega Weapon Garmadon. Like I was a big fan of the so-called filler episodes.
Yeah,
people were like,
true.
"Oh, they're the Mega Weapon episodes. They're filler." But if you think about it, which episodes made Garmadon the villain he is? Like, which episodes made him the menacing villain?
I mean, he's a good villain, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just not my favorite. Like, he doesn't, like, villains, when you think of villains, you think of, like, dark, right? Like, a dark, menacing villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say Garmadon, I wouldn't say he's a joke, but he's, like, probably not the weakest? I don't know how to explain this in words.
Like,
he's just not the darkest villain out there,
I can kind of get where you're going, like, with the first couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have his elemental power back then.
Now, Sons of Garmadon is a different story.
Yeah.
The
new Garmadon.
Yeah, those seasons, Garmadon was amazing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Hunted and March of the Oni.
Uh-huh.
In those seasons, Garmadon was amazing.
Yeah, I really like that Garmadon, too. So, I'd say, like, they're not the same Garmadon, but overall, like, both of those, he's my favorite.
What do you think Garmadon is now? I mean, he was last seen at the end of March of the Oni, and who knows where he is.
I think he might be just kind of, like, trying to figure out mentally, like, who he is. Like, at first he was like, I'm back, Ninjago, and I'm gonna kill Lloyd, and I'm gonna take over. But then he realized that the Oni were really a threat, and they scared him, kind of. And then there was a point where he just, like, I really like that moment that he had with the cameraman, where he figured out, like, some things.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I feel like that is gonna have a huge impact on his future. And I don't think he's gonna be a villain. That's pretty much it for my questions. Oh, wait, I have one more, which I'll probably ask everybody. If you could have any elemental power, what would it be and why?
Probably ice.
Oh, ice.
Yeah,
nice.
The old classic, the old classic.
The cool element.
Yeah, the cool element. I like Zane's element,
Yeah. Especially after he defeated your favorite villain.
Yes. that was such a bit, like, my favorite season is Rebooted, so that was an amazing season.
Yeah, I rewatched that recently, and like that was super emotional at the end. Like, I forgot.
Yeah, and the soundtrack, that was crazy.
Yeah. I just thought of something. I'm gonna do this now. So last episode, Mike said speed, I think, and I said amber. So like stealing powers, like absorbing them.
Oh, that's your element? Your favorite element? Like, oh yeah, that's actually...
So what I'm coming up with now is after every episode, I'm going to make it so that they can't pick these elements that have already been said.
It's such a good element.
So, no speed, no amber, and no ice. So the next guest won't be able to say those. They'll have less to choose from. Okay, are you ready to get into a Ninjago topic?
Sure.
Okay, but you want to just like talk about predictions for season 12?
Oh my gosh, yes.
What do you think is gonna happen, like in the end of season 11?
Like, I feel like the Digiverse is gonna return.
Yeah.
A controller for gaming was revealed, right?
Oh yeah. I think I saw that on your channel actually.
Yeah, so it was like a controller for gaming, and I feel like Jay is gonna be the main person. I mean, the main ninja.
That would be cool.
Because first of all, I just thought of this now. He's the one who plays video games, right? Like, mainly.
Yeah.
Like, right? And not only that, but the set list for the set names, Jay's the most who's in the sets, like in the names. I like the suspense though, because it's pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
everyone's saying this is like a gamer season, and I don't know. And you've seen that villain leak, right? Some type of villain leak. I forgot what it was.
I don't know if I have. I saw, like, don't they have different heads or something?
I actually
the ninja,
but it was like red and blue, I believe.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the villain is a virus. I don't know. This probably sounds stupid, but it's like a virus, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they happen to rebooted.
Yeah, stuck in the Digiverse, and then the ninja goes after them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jay controls the ninja, I guess, in the Digiverse. I don't know. I mean, like I said, these I love these type of topics. You know, there's so many possibilities of like anything. You know.
Yeah. The cool thing about the Digiverse, though, is like when people enter it, they can basically take it over. Like the Overlord, when he was controlling the Digiverse, it was his rules. So if there's a villainous threat that like takes over the Digiverse, and the ninja have to stop him, then it'll kind of, like, I don't know if they'll do the same thing. Maybe the villain like could take over the Digiverse, and then that could have consequences for Ninjago. And so, like, it transfers over, maybe? I don't know.
So, you know, not last week episodes, but 2 weeks ago, like, the episodes.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. Like, it was about,
the Crag?
Crag, yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, like, there's only, like, 5 more or 6 more episodes left, right? Or 7 more episodes? I mean, no, actually 5 more episodes. And, like, everyone back then was complaining that there's 5 more episodes left. The Ice Emperor is not, like, being, like, his side of the story is not being shown yet.
Yeah.
Or, like, so that was actually pretty disappointing as well. Like,
I don't know what other people think about this, but I'm not really a fan of the ninja and the Ice Village. Like, they started with that, and they just, like, continued with that, and nothing has really happened. And that's just the main plot, is the ninja there. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, because, like, in these episodes, the ninja have been staying in the Ice Village, right?
And that's not even in the sets.
Yeah, that's true.
So I hope that they get out of the Ice Village for the next episode.
In my opinion, I feel like Zane's not going to return go back to Ninjago.
I don't think that they're gonna have everything resolved in this season.
Yeah, like, if you've seen the set list for season 12 so far, Zane's not in any of the sets, or like his name is not included in any of the sets. Like, you know, the Avatar J or Avatar Kai. Like, there's no Zane. Like, the sets, there's no Zane. Like, it's weird. I feel like he's not gonna return.
I hope he does.
Go back to Ninjago.
That's been like so many episodes since Brent Miller has had a voice role. Do you have any other like thoughts on season 12 before we get into the mystery segment?
Season 12. I mean, like I said, you know, it's a gamer season.
Is that confirmed from your sources? Like, does it seem to everybody that's a gamer season, or is that like a theory?
I mean, it's by the clues, you know, like the gamer, the controller, something else I forgot, but like technology-wise, something like that. So it has to be something related to gaming. And there's also one set called Jay's Cyber Dragon.
Ooh, dragons in the Digiverse. Oh, digital dragons.
I mean, You know what's the funny part? I feel like, I don't know why, at the same time I feel like the Digiverse is not involved in anything for the season.
Maybe not. Maybe it's maybe it's a new realm. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe not that, but
yeah, but Jay Cyber Dragon sounds very cool. I like that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, like season 12, I'm very excited for it.
Is there anything else that you want to mention before we get into our mystery segment?
Ooh, I'm actually excited for the mystery segment, so let's just join right now. Let's just get it to it right now.
Okay, so for this episode of Podjitzu, on the mystery segment, we're going to be doing something that I call the Ninjago Battle Arena.
Ooh. Okay.
And so this is a game where both of us pick a character in our minds, and then I give a countdown, and we say it at the same time, and then we debate over who we think would win in a battle arena.
Ooh.
This can be as silly or serious as we want it to be.
So you want me to pick two, like, Ninjago characters?
Yeah, we're just gonna have like different rounds. Like I'll think of a character and you'll think of a character, and I'll give a countdown, and we just say them at the same time.
Okay.
And we debate on who we think will win.
Ooh. It can be any character, right? Like Pixel or anyone?
Yeah. And if we do the same character, then I guess we just go again, and we don't.
I already have one in my mind.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First Ninjutsu Master.
I said Karloff.
The first Ninjutsu Master versus Karloff.
I'm dead.
I just went with the most OP
scared,
one.
Bro. I'm scared.
I don't know. Karloff's metal.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's the first Ninjutsu Master.
That's a fight.
Defeat anyone.
I want to see happen. Karloff just like turns silver and just punches him in the face, and the ninja are just watching.
It's so funny.
We're not. This isn't really like a game. Like we're not keeping score or anything. This is just.
Yeah, obviously. Hey, like first Ninjutsu Master beats everyone, you know. That's basically cheating. That's basically cheating, bro.
Sorry. I mean, if you said the Oni, like he had to retreat from the Oni, so maybe they would beat him. Are you ready for round 2?
I gotta pick a good guy or girl. Let's see. Oh, okay, I got one.
3, 2, 1. Preeminent.
Ronin.
Oh.
Come on. Why are you picking good on this one?
You know, I'm gonna go with a Ronin because I like Ronin. Yeah, I know you won that time. If Ronin is OP. If he uses his airship and just shoves a bunch of deep stone down the preeminent.
I thought you were gonna pick an average guy, another average guy, and then we could see.
All right, I'll pick an average
one. You're picking like the first Ninjutsu Master, preeminent people, the strongest ones. No, but seriously, Ronin is a good he's a good character. I mean, I don't like sometimes his like I don't like his action sometimes, but he's still like he reminds me of a ninja. I don't know why.
Yeah, and he's really developed like since the first episode that he was on.
Hopefully he returns next season.
Yeah, I would love that. He's like one of my favorites. Honestly though, I could see him taking down the preeminent.
Really? Nah.
Like, cause he has an airship, so he could just fly away.
Okay. Like the Ronin REX.
Like he just whistles.
Like, come on, the preeminent is huge, so giant.
Without ghosts, just the preeminent.
No, imagine Ronin just like himself, like no machine or anything.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking about. Like Ronin doesn't have any elemental powers. He just has that. What's that called?
His hat, arrow blade.
Yeah, arrow blades. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could do some damage. He'd probably lose though if it was just him. Yeah. No, not Ronin. Round 3.
Round 3.
3, 2, 1. Samukai.
Rebooted Cyrus Board.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like.
I went hard on this one.
Possessed by the or not possessed, but like taken over by the over.
Having those extra arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Overlord controlling it, you know.
Ooh. Him versus Samukai.
Who do you pick?
Samukai.
That's actually a good match.
Yeah.
Because they're both weak, so it's like.
Samukai's not weak. He's a fearsome master of the axe.
you make it seem like he's like the best villain. He's probably like below average. He is not good. I mean, Cyrus Gore, he's also below average. I mean, he doesn't fight, but Overlord controlling it, it could mean that he's kind of strong.
I don't know. If it was just both of them in a battle arena, should we give them weapons or not? We probably should have discussed this beforehand.
That's true.
Let's just say they have what they would usually have. So Sammy Kai has his knives and Cyrus Borg has his chainsaw or whatever he has.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Sammy Kai has an advantage because of his four arms, but at the same time, I feel like Cyrus Borg can do it, you know?
Yeah.
Just because you think he's a scientist, that doesn't mean he's not strong.
I mean, either could win. You're kind of right, but tell us down in the comments, guys. Be the final vote. Who do you think wins? Do you want to go one more round?
One more round?
I don't know who to pick. Man, this is hard because there's so many characters. Okay, I got one. All right. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jacob.
Ray. What did he say?
Jacob, the master of sound.
Oh, him. He's weak. I said Ray.
Ray would probably win.
Yeah,
Jacob's blind.
What kind of elemental master is that?
The master of sound.
That's so... I don't know. It's kind of weird. He just plays the guitar, right?
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for him when he died because the snake ate him.
He didn't die, though.
Yeah, he did.
Wait, did you not... So there was... I think it was the episode when they just unlocked their elemental dragons and they're flying away. In the credits of that episode...
Wait, but didn't Klaus say let him, let the snake eat him?
Yeah, so in the credits of that episode, it was kind of... there was a voiceover, and Jacob was just like, guys, where'd you go? I was feeding the snake food, and everybody left. Where'd everyone go? And then later in the finale, you see him with the other elemental masters.
So basically you're saying Ray's gonna win. Right?
Probably.
I mean, Ray's 100% gonna win.
Yeah.
Master of Sound versus Fire? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Fire all day.
Well, I guess that's it for the podcast.
That was a good episode, you know. By the way, this was my first ever podcast. I believe it went well. I mean,
yeah, me too.
I really enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this much. I just expected questions, but it was really fun. So thank you for that, giving me the opportunity to be in your podcast. No
problem. Thanks for being on the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, listening. I guess just something that I want to start. You guys can go follow my Instagram. It's at SPI Ninjago for this channel, and I'm just gonna post which YouTuber I'm doing a Podjitzu with, and you guys can send me your questions and stuff because I don't want to be going over the same questions every single time. So if you guys have any questions for future YouTubers that I do a Podjitzu with, you can send me your questions and also comment down below who do you want to join me in future episodes. Al, do you have anything that you want to say before we end this off?
Well, next year,
anything you want to plug?
Since I have school this year, it's kind of hard to start doing a podcast. But
yeah,
next year I'm going to be starting podcast. I've already made the name. It was known as NinjaCast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll one day invite you over. You know.
Yes, I'm down for that. Hopefully, I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.